I'm Terry Dayton. I am a personal trainer, I'm a Group X instructor, and a Water X instructor. I work for the Y, and I've worked here about 10 years. So.
Wonderful. And how did you first become interested in this career?
When I threw my ACL. So I tore my ACL when I was skiing. I had a lot of rehab, and I hired a personal trainer to help me through that rehab after the surgery, and I just got hooked after that. For Group X and Water X, we have certifications that we have to get for the medium that we teach. So those are through national type places, like Aquatics Education Association is out of Florida, I believe. So that's one. Silver Sneakers, it's another certification, so you can teach older people. I teach Parkinson's as well, so I have a certification on how to teach Parkinson's through PWR, which is down in Tucson. And there's a guy named Gary Sobel up in, goodness, where is he at? He is up in Boulder. There you go, I remembered it. He's up in Boulder. He also has a certification for Parkinson's. Total Fitness, it's through the Y. And then for my personal training is through the National Association of Sports Medicine. It's one of the national brands. It's also international. There's another certification called ACE, which is the same thing as NASM. It's just a different philosophy on how they teach you and how you train other people. So, but when you go to an organization like the Y, you have additional training on top of all of that. You can also, there's a lot of people like Michael that was in here, they have an associate's or a bachelor's in sports medicine or athletic training or physical therapy. So it depends on where you want to go with that and what your education is for that. For me, this is like a third career, so it's all good. I think you have to have an empathetic personality. You have to be a little outgoing. You have to have, most trainers I know are a little sarcastic. So, not too bad, but you have to kind of push people out of their comfort zone and be comfortable doing that and not be, oh, you don't feel like doing that today? I'm sorry. So, no, so a little outgoing. So most personal trainers throughout most, I'm going to say most organizations, whether you're at the Y or you're at 24 Fitness or wherever you're at, are not salaried people. They're hourly people. And it depends on your education and how long you've been trained or how long you've been doing it. So you can start out about $20 an hour. I know some that get $60 an hour. It depends on if you meet in person. It depends on if you do Zoom calls or group calls. It depends on how many people you're training, and it also depends if I come to your house or not. I get more money if I come to your house, but for the most part, the average is probably $30 an hour. You work your way up. So that depends on your salary and how many bills you have. And how you're going to work that out. So most trainers try and they figure out how much money you get per hour, and then they have to figure out how much money they need per month to make their bills, and then they have to back it up to see how many clients they have to have per week. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, because that's how most of us work. You get to control your own schedule. So it does work out for a lot of people that are going to college to be a personal trainer, because you can work your hours, right? It can be an extra income. I know a lot of there's 3 or 4 people here at the Y that are going to college at the same time. There's a lot of moms that do this or dads that do this because they can work around their kids' schedule. So that's really nice. It's changed since COVID quite a bit. Personal trainers are not the thing right now. People don't want to come to the gym. It's probably because if you're working out in your cardio, people don't want to wear their masks. I can say the gyms are a lot cleaner than they ever were. So I don't remember when we were prior COVID how much cleaning we did. We would just put the equipment away. Now we clean before and after everybody. We have very supportive directors. Personal training brings in extra money to gyms, so they're happy with us and they keep us happy. So they're, can you work this? Can you work that? Can you, they're very accommodating for that. So their gyms are pretty clean. It's very rare that you have to have a certain amount of clients to maintain. Some gyms, Y is not one of them, that tells you have to have at least 8 clients a week or more. We're not one of those. We're just trying to get people to come back in and work with them and not do virtual. Each day is a little bit different, depends on the client or clients in my case. So I usually start about 8 o'clock in the morning. I have an early client, and I usually have a half-hour client or an hour client because they depend on what the package they bought. Train them for about a half hour, let's say. Monday I train a half hour, and then I get a 15-minute break before the next client. The next client could be an hour, and I get another break. And then I teach a Group X class, which is usually an hour long. They say you have personal time. The personal time is usually for me to plan the workout for one of my clients. So I do some research on their situation and see if I can do some corrective action for that. And then I do a plan for them. And then we just move on through the day. So it's clients, classes all day long with about half hour between each one, sometimes an hour, woohoo! And I'm usually done about 3:30, to tell you the truth. The benefits that you meet all kinds of people, no matter what. And when you're a personal trainer, they want to be here, right? So it's not grumpy people, they just want to come in and be well. Sometimes just check out of reality and just work out. Those endorphins help you do that. So that's really awesome. Challenging is when people have issues that you're not used to. Like they have issues with their hips or their knees or their shoulders, and you have to overcome those and come up with some corrective action for that, which is really nice because you see them grow, you see them move on beyond that pain, you see them move on beyond that inability and becomes a possibility. So that's pretty cool. Absolutely, because you can plan your day around your family, right? If I had little ones, and I do not, but if you have little ones, you can plan around the daycare hours that you're allowed to put the child into daycare, or your school hours, your children's school hours. You can plan around activities. You can move clients to and fro wherever you need to do that. Most clients are flexible. Same with Group X, we can find instructors to sub for you. So you just pick when you can work and don't work on beyond that. So, way cool. The flexibility. Besides meeting everybody and helping them be healthier and be aware of their fitness, be aware of where their body's going so they can go beyond just sitting down and being a couch potato and taking control of their lives. We take people from Parkinson's that are super shaky, like Michael J. Fox, who's always moving around, to somebody that can just function in life. And it's awesome to see that they can function and they can walk without tripping. People that are in the Livestrong program are people that are surviving cancer or dealing with cancer every day. And they come out and they work out and they feel better and they're stronger and they can take those treatments and be so much better and heal. That's awesome. Well, we've seen it change quite a bit this last year. A lot of people are doing Zoom meetings, they're doing virtual meetings, virtual training. I think that's a little hard to do, but still do it. So I think more people are doing online than they're actually coming to a gym. So we see that changing a little bit. It's always growing. Technology is always changing. Techniques are always changing. Something that worked yesterday wasn't working tomorrow, so we change it up, and it's just moving all the time. You just have to have a caring heart. That's all you really need to do is have a caring heart and be willing to mentor somebody beyond where they're at today.